Cool. Hello, everyone. Where's Rupert?
Hello!
There he is.
Hey, how are we doing today? Welcome to the Friday Feelings podcast. Charlie Wall, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Tired. Could do with a
You
coffee.
tired?
Definitely do with a coffee.
Do with the coffee. I
Yeah.
think I've had too many coffees throughout this day.
Yeah, nah. I could do it more. I've actually got stuff
I
in the
can
fridge.
hear myself and you just as a
Don't worry.
yeah,
I've already fixed it. Don't worry. I've already fixed it. Give it a couple of seconds and you'll notice that you can't hear yourself anymore.
wonderful. Well, that is good. So yes, welcome to the Friday Feelings podcast. It is the 8th of 5th today, and it is a special day, VE Day, and we're going to come to that in a little bit as well. But first off, Charlie, how are you feeling?
Mate, I'm feeling really tired. I think it's just because of the heat. I've been out. I've been busy today. I delivered some ICT equipment to one of our workers to make sure they could actually partake in meetings. Uh, I then went into town quickly, did some food shopping whilst the shops were actually open, um, and I've just been sitting here working. I mean, you wouldn't think standing still would make you so tired, would you? Until like you do it. I'm knackered.
Yo, you're tired.
Yeah.
Um, that I can. Sorry, mate. I can still hear everything. It's really hard to concentrate.
Can you?
Yeah, really sorry.
Is that through? Can you hear stuff through the stream, or can you hear it?
Yep. No, through my headphones. Sorry. It's really hard to differentiate.
I'm really confused. What are you talking about? Can you hear the stream and us talking?
Yes, yeah.
Are
It's
you watching?
really
Are you watching the stream on your laptop?
no.
I'm really confused.
Hello? Sorry. Yeah, okay. I can still hear. It must be on your. Yeah. So today we are going to play some games, talk about Friday. We've got some updates on COVID-19. We've got some jargon busting going on. We've got two games. We've got our social media plan, which has gone well this week, and some youth group plans. Our Twitch has been quite successful this week. What else, Charlie, have we got?
Well,
I don't know. What have we got planned for next week as well as the podcast? I think there are going to be some big changes. So speaking of changes, what things have you done differently this week, Charlie? It's been same old. It's it's been a bit like that. Lockdown's a bit the same old, same old. How's that making you feel? Tired from just standing up all the time and talking about the same stuff. She's done nothing different this week. It's been same old. It's it's been a bit like that. Lockdown's a bit the same. Just been purchasing lots of equipment, haven't we? Tired from just standing up all the time and talking about the same stuff. She's done nothing. Done anything outside activities wise?
activity-wise, just walking.
Have you been out?
Boris,
What's your local walk like? What's the most interesting thing you're seeing your walk?
The castle. I live in Castle Acre, so we've got a castle. Well, the ruins of a castle here, which in this weather makes it look very relaxing and beautiful.
Love it. I managed to see a sparrowhawk on my walks, which is lovely. I'm competing with a good friend of mine to beat 5K running times. I'm not going to reveal what times I do until I've got an excellent running time that I'm proud of. And I don't think anything hysterical has happened this week. I'm just trying to sort out holidays, really, because my holidays are going to consist of sitting at home and sleeping.
But Well, that is literally what a holiday is at the moment, isn't it? Because you can't go out, you can't go on holiday anywhere at the moment.
It's difficult, yeah. You
It's
can't go abroad, you can't go out, you can't see family, you can't see friends. It's difficult. You've got to try and spice a holiday up. Throw in some crafty activities, some engaging stuff, a quiz every day. I don't know, I'm going to read a whole host of books potentially, play something.
Yeah, and I mean, like you can talk to your friends and family via instant messaging, Skype, Zoom, even things like Discord. They're all options. I mean,
Oh, yes.
there's ways to talk to people. You can game with them. Uh, there is ways around it, but like, yeah, I think one of the hardest challenges, especially for key workers at the moment, people who are at work, is when they have to take their annual leave. Is they take their annual leave and then they're just staying indoors.
It's tough. Often you want a break so you can spend time at home, but now we're at home, we want a break to spend time outside of our home. But alas, we cannot do that yet. But one day, maybe one day soon, who knows? We're going to go into a bit of what's been happening this week. But as we haven't got any funny stories to tell, unfortunately, I got told off by my neighbour.
Well, what did you do?
So we were playing back garden cricket, and our neighbour shouted across the fence line, oh there, hello, what are you doing?" And we said, we're playing back garden cricket, yeehaw, and all that. And they said, "Well, why don't you play it outside your front home? Because there's a lovely green space." Instigating, we're clearly making a racket, and they wanted us to be in a completely different place. And we did not take that advice.
No, so basically what you was doing was that you was hitting a ball against a fence.
No, it wasn't even their fence. It was the across two back gardens.
Oh.
I know. We offered for them to commentate and to keep score, but they didn't have anything to say.
So was it polite or were you guys being sarcastic?
Oh no, we were being really polite actually. We're like, "Oh, thank you. Oh yeah. No, we're going to continue though. Thank you. Bye." Keep the score.
Thank you for the offer, but nah.
Yeah, but no, yeah, quite. So we've done not much back garden cricket. Spoken to lots of people this week. That's been really good for my mental health. Been looking after other people, checking in what's going with the world. We've ordered stuff on Amazon, which is exciting.
Oh,
That's
mate,
going to come next
we've
week.
ordered so much stuff on Amazon. Oh.
We've got stacks of things coming to do with what funding opportunities. What we're going to have some active videos, some workout stuff coming. I don't know when, depends on when the camera equipment and the mics arrive, but I get a whole host of technology to sink my teeth into. I can't wait.
And we're soon going to launch some youth clubs. Now, I need to quickly announce that these aren't going to be youth clubs as in building based, but we are going to be relaunching, hopefully, Acle Youth Club, Catton Grove Senior, Kings Lynn Youth West, and the Great Yarmouth Bike Project, all online. Now, if you are part of one of those clubs already, stay tuned. We will be sending out the details as they develop. It will be free of charge, of course. There'll be no charge on the door. And we look forward to seeing you. The aim of the game primarily is because over the next couple of months, although we don't expect social distancing to finish this Sunday, we do expect it to end at some point. So the best thing to do is to start preparing to go back to some kind of normality. Last thing we want to do is for us to continue doing all this virtual stuff and then Boris Johnson coming on TV one day and going, "Cool, go back to normal." And then we're like, "Oh, we haven't adjusted for that." So here we go. We're going to begin our slow adjustment back to normal life.
We thought virtual youth groups would be a really good idea to engage a number of people who want to get involved, see their friends on a face value, hear them talk, play some trivial games, just have a laugh, create a bit more of a positive vibe. That's going to be happening in the next few weeks when we sort out and talk to individual people. We've been doing it this week and attempting to promote it and touching base with lots of you, and we want to continue that. But COVID-19, general, I like touching on this topic. Charlie, you know by now the general symptoms.
Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. So you have a dry cough.
Yep.
You have a fever of, I think it's 35, no, over 37, 36, something like that.
Oh, I do not know the temperature.
You have flu-like symptoms, cold-like symptoms. You have mild to low to mild pneumonia. You could
Pneumonia?
pneumonia.
Pneumonia?
Is that what that is? I think I
I
said it
feel
right.
I feel like you're just reading from some book here.
Oh no, this is a guy that does always research.
Wowee.
uh,
I hadn't written that much detail.
okay, we'll go with early onset. So you'd know if you have COVID-19 if you have a mixture of these symptoms: dry cough, a cold, headache, and a temperature. They're the ones that if you had those, you could easily call up NHS and ask for a self-test kit at this point.
Who'd you ring?
Uh,
NHS, what's the number?
111, or they do have a website to control the amount of traffic that is coming through their telephone lines.
Indeed, GP surgeries are obviously open as well, but they're not keen on you just attending and sometimes ringing. Check on their website if possible, and for obvious reasons, if it's an emergency, ring 999. People shouldn't be shy to ring 999 just because they think they're going to get COVID or people are going to come round and it's going to be a bit of a hash. Please still ring 999 if there's an emergency for obvious reasons that we don't need to state.
We do need to highlight though, because I think the health secretary has highlighted it. It's good to re-highlight it and just keep on highlighting it, because a lot of people are choosing not to go to the hospitals. Now this could be because you're paranoid about COVID-19, or because there is so much push about stay at home, protect the NHS, that you feel that you shouldn't. Now, don't leave a condition to the point of you're in extreme agony or in extreme danger. If you have a symptom, if you have a broken bone, if there's a pre-existing medical condition that if not treated possibly could cause you serious illness or damage, go to the hospital still. The doctors will still look after you, still take care of you, still support you. It's very important that you do go. And in terms of paranoia, the hospitals have put in so many precautions. I mean, like, almost like completely different areas of the hospital dedicated to COVID-19. So the chances of you catching COVID-19 within a hospital, I would probably say, is so small, it's unbelievable. Just follow the guidelines when you're in the hospital, follow the advice of the doctors, but ultimately, if you're ill, still go to the hospital.
Couldn't agree more. Hospitals are safe places where we should definitely see specialist help. So don't be afraid of them, please. Charlie,
yes.
I want to go and have a tapas night with my granddad. Can I do that?
Do you live with your granddad?
No. He lives in Kent, but I want to do it. Can I do it?
No, that's not essential.
Why not?
First of all,
it is essential.
He doesn't live in your household with you, which is part of the guidelines. He is probably in the vulnerable category, I'm assuming, which means that you visiting him and you being someone who has the virus with no symptoms, you could be passing it on to him, or the other way around.
So I can go and eat my tapas in Kent with my housemate because I live together.
I mean, you can, but you're breaking the law. If you
like
really
Mr. Farage, I
Yeah.
don't need to go out.
You don't need to travel 100 miles. It's not needed.
120 actually.
Literally not needed at all. Okay.
How far do I have to stay away from people?
You have to stay 2 meters. I mean, 2 meters.
2
meters was recommended, but the further away you are, the better in general, because you can't catch it if you're far enough away. So.
Right. How many times can I go out to my tapas a day?
No, is it essential? It's not essential, so I'd probably say never. I mean,
go pick up plasters and painkillers and prescriptions once a day.
Once a day, or once a day. Essential travel, essential purchasing, shopping. It's about plotting your day appropriately. Now, a lot of people, if you go on social media and you go on these Facebook selling pages, there are so many people out there creating excuses to justify why going out is needed. And I won't argue, but I'm also not going to agree. The only thing I will say is that the guidelines have been put in place to protect you as an individual as well as the community. So if you choose to go out, you have a higher percentage of catching it compared to the person who isn't. And that's what you need to remember when you choose to go out. That you are a higher percentage of catching this virus than somebody who is not following the guidelines.
I think you're right there. I think you're very, very Very correct. How long should I wash my hands for?
20 seconds. So either singing the
Boom.
chorus of Mr. Brightside or the Happy Birthday song. But
Love, love.
do a proper wash. Don't just stand there for 20 seconds with cold water and soap. Actually wash your hands.
It's a really underrated thing, and often you'll find you need to look at some of the soap dispensers because they're not bacterial killing items. They're just general, wash your hands with this because they smell pleasant, like aloe vera and parsley.
What?
What a lovely fragrance that would be.
Yeah, but it'd be completely pointless. Recommendation is to
Correct.
actually use soap. I mean, everybody. I mean, when this whole thing broke out, when this whole thing kicked off, everybody went for hand sanitizers, and I found it so easy to get soap, and the government recommendations and World Health Organisations and CDC and all these doctors and stuff, they actually say soap kills more germs than hand sanitizer. But if you can't have access to soap, hand sanitizer is literally the next best thing.
Very true. A lot of these squirty products don't often work, I'm afraid. So if you want to smell like aloe vera and caramel or dental floss and toothpaste, you need to do it by brushing your teeth and washing your hands in caramel. Get some soap, basically, is what we are saying. Stay safe. Wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Your ingredients for soap sound like.
Well, you get some.
What's
the weirdest variety? I've seen some.
You literally sound like Bertie's flavoured beans from Harry Potter.
It's like Bassett's all sorts when I go into Savers. They've got all the colours and flavours under the sun of like soap and things like that. Have you not seen them before? They've got like bubblegum, mint, herbal remedy. I don't know.
You're literally you sound like a Harry Potter character, and you've just got those what are they all flavoured beans.
Bertie's, yeah, I know what you mean.
That's literally what you sound like at the moment.
That's it.
Next you're gonna be like, oh, go get the dog poo and shaving cream
horseradish
flavour.
Bogey flavour.
Yeah.
Radish. And you can obviously stay inside, protect yourself in the NHS. There's lots of vulnerable people outside. And the longer or the less time we spend outside, probably the safer we will all be in the grand scheme of things. I quite agree. And you can obviously say to yourself, well, I'm young, I'm not affected. Well, I haven't got these symptoms. I'm not affected. Asymptomatic, we learned that 2 weeks ago, and it means that you can still have or carry COVID-19 or other symptom or other things, but not present with symptoms, is what I'm trying to say. You can have COVID-19 but not be present with symptoms. Asymptomatic. Wonderful. Charlie.
Yes.
I've got a game for you.
Oh, go on then. What is it?
I've got a game. Do we have a jingle?
Oh, do we have a jingle? That's a good question.
I'm waiting.
Let's have a look. Do we have a... Oh, yes.
Oh, jingle.
You've got to announce your game.
And here we have Rupert's High Moustache. Your question. Mwahaha. This is where we have a break from COVID-19 jargon busting, and I asked Charlie Wall a question, and he has to list everything in my question. So examples we had last week were, Charlie, can you name the top 8 most deadliest creatures in the world, or can you name the top currency notes in a game Monopoly? And this week we have 4 new themes that you've got to try and guess. So the first one is, Charlie Wall,
yes.
Can you list the world's 10 biggest fast food chains?
McDonald's.
Yes.
KFC.
Yes.
Burger King.
Yes.
Pizza Hut.
Yes.
Domino's Pizza.
Yes.
How many do I need to name?
10. You've got 4.
I got 5, didn't I?
5.
Subway.
Yes.
World's biggest one, yeah? Starbucks.
Correct. Think world. Think America.
What else do they have in America? Fast food only, yeah?
Yep.
So if I say Walmart.
No. There's something that probably would rival Krispy Kremes.
What, Dunkin' Donuts?
Correct. And we've got something that a big church or a large church at the top of a tower would have.
What, White Castle?
No, it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, bells. Taco Bell.
Hey,
I don't know
well
about
done.
Taco Bell. That's in Great Yarmouth now, isn't it?
Indeed, it is, and very tasty. And there's one more. I think in America they call them something houses. They're like small houses for children. I think it's an American term.
What,
It's a lady's name. It's a Wendy's house. Wendy's.
Wendy's. A small house for children. It's a lady's name, Wendy's.
Oh, well.
I thought
Wendy's house.
I had orphanage in my head.
We don't recommend eating there. Okay, now there are 9 rules on a famous swimming pool's poster. Okay, there are 9 famous rules on the swimming pool's poster. What are the 9?
Don't run.
Correct.
Don't dive.
Yep.
Don't bomb.
Yep.
Don't splash.
Yep.
Don't dunk.
Yes, very good.
Don't murder.
Obviously. So there's one which we will see in this country in a lot of pubs and places, a classic sign you see everywhere.
In a swimming pool, the sign though.
Yep, it's like obvious when you think about it.
And it's in pubs.
It's in pubs. It's everywhere now. You can't do inside of buildings, only out.
Oh, no smoking.
Correct. There's raising your voice.
I didn't realise that was one of them. Oh, fair.
Shouting. There's no pushing.
No urinating.
No, that isn't a rule. That's just courtesy and etiquette. There's no gymnastics and no petting.
That's fair. Okay.
Okay, we've got a really good one now. Can you, Charlie Wall, list the first 10 Mr. Men books published?
What?
Mr. Men. Can you just name 10 Mr. Men books?
Mr. Bump.
Yeah.
Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Tall.
Yep.
Mr. Happy.
Yep.
Mr. Jelly.
I don't think is Mr. Jelly. I think Mr. Jelly is one.
Mr. Sad.
Yep.
Oh my god. Mr. Square.
It's not Mr. Square. He's Mr. Strong. You're thinking of the big square red one.
Yeah.
What's the orange one with long arms?
Mr. Spaghetti.
What? Mr. Tickle.
Oh, mate, I'm 20-something years old now.
Mate, what about the big green one with the big nose?
Mr. Big Nose.
Mr. Nosy. Mr. Messy, Mr. Snow, Mr. Sneeze, Mr. Silly. There's countless. Charlie Wall, you got 2 out of 3. Well done.
Lovely.
Hurrah!
Living the dream.
Well done. So, Charlie, can you tell us after my game show, I must ask you a question.
Yeah.
What have you got any COVID updates for us, or any jargon busting?
Jargon busting wise, I think one of the biggest updates that's come out is that Wales has looked at relaxing its rules a teeny weeny bit.
What was the best news story out of this that an MP said? There's one I'm thinking of. We're playing that famous game, Guess What's in My Head.
An MP said it?
An MP said it and the government are saying it and all the news reports went mad about it. It's absolutely hysterical. Out of all of the news, I will tell you...
Is it a British MP?
No, it's Wales. Wales. Basically, Wales is leaking information. That's obviously my opinion. But it's absolutely hysterical. That they are going to open up garden centres and you're encouraged to go and have a cup of tea and peruse.
Oh, no, that's not... That's what I said. It was announced by the Wales people over there. Parliament. I don't know. They're part of the Parliament, aren't they? They got their own...
The MPs.
Yeah. They've said that you can go out more than once a day for exercise, and they're also opening up garden centres, which is a very strange thing to announce.
They're opening up garden centres for you middle-class folk out there who are just dying for your expensive cup of tea and thought of a wonderful potted plant to add to your garden.
But then also saying that KFC has reopened its doors across the country.
Oh no!
Yeah, I went down to King's Lynn. The queue was ridiculous.
Just get your Kentucky Fried Chicken. Who remembers when Kentucky Fried Chicken ran out of chicken? Uproar in the community.
That's when bird flu was a thing, wasn't it?
Indeed. Well, I hope it isn't a horse flu for that. That's for sure. Okay, that is true. Kentucky Fried Chicken. We spoke about McDonald's last time opening, but now Kufsa has opened its doors. Other updates are a jargon busting one for you. Charlie,
Yes.
who are who?
Oh, what, the World Health Organization?
Hey! Do you know what WHO does? The World Health Organization.
They study what's it called? They're epidologists. Is that what they're called?
They do have epidologists. Yes.
They're a team who dedicate themselves not to curing, but to documenting and understanding viruses and other things that can harm humans.
Yes.
But the biggest key thing is that they don't have a say on things like control procedures and vaccinations. They are purely a agency that provides intel to government. And
Intel's a really good word to sum it up. Statistics and analytics is where they lie with professionals and news, bringing news across, spreading data, and making sure people are informed higher up. But they have a lot of general news for public demand and statistics as well, which is really nice. Bringing news across the world and together. So they play a massive part in what is going on in different lockdown procedures in the world and the way we're dealing with it. So that's very well done. Do you know much? Well, I'll tell you. Local authorities are getting a combination of £2.7 billion.
Oh yeah, I saw this. This is to support carers because one of the about 3 weeks ago, the government finally started publishing death rates, not just in hospitals, and there was I think there was like an additional 5,000 deaths. Now, a majority of those were unfortunately care homes. So the government's now pledged that large sum of money, not just to the carers part of key workers, to provide support to those homes that are in need.
They want to try and target this money or give this pot of money, instigating and stressing that they want to give care homes better funding, so they protect the people who are vulnerable the most, and yes, the care and support workers who look after them, which I think is a very honest and humbling thing for local communities and governments to do, because I think we've all know the stress of care workers and the families who may not be able to be with some of their loved ones and the vulnerable, just to protect them, which is a sad thing, but it's good that the government and local authorities are going to be able to give something back to these people and support them in a financial way. So that is an update, and a positive one will come out of that. Boris Johnson has urged the sharing of more information globally, and he's trying to instigate some form of global change into sharing more data, more analytics, and more good news stories across the globe. He wants global leaders to meet more regularly and share their plans, because some people have come out of lockdown. China is reported only 3 new cases recently and has finally relaxed some of its domestic travel restrictions, and parks and local places have been swamped. Not the best news. They've had to sort of try and tell people to not run out of their homes headfirst, but go out gradually. But that's good news that China has released some of its domestic travel in some mainland. There was some rather hysterical news in the US about how different states and the government were being pitted against each other to get PPE equipment and more life-saving equipment, and drove prices up against each other.
So the US essentially just has just made it a lot more tougher for themselves. Unfortunately.
They have, in some places, made it really difficult. And they finally addressed this issue, brought some prices down in some public and private sectors, and they're finally working collaboratively for the greater good of their nation. They have been struggling, but they're finally working together, and states, hospitals, and powers in their local governments are working together, which is positive, and what Boris Johnson believes will get us through this crisis.
Yay!
Yeah, it's a bit mad, really, but thank goodness they're working together. So we've heard a lot about the economy this week. I don't know if you've heard anything, and there's been a lot of jargon.
I've heard the announcement. I think it was the Bank of England, who have said that we are in a position where we are likely to enter a recession, and probably one of the biggest ones that we've ever faced. Recorded that has been recorded at least anyway.
Yes. So the word recession and the word economy have been thrown around with some statistics. And potentially, due to the coronavirus impact, we might see the economy shrink 14% this year. That's based on the lockdown ending in June time, we think. Recession, that's a big word. What does that mean? Do you know what does the word recession and economy even mean?
Lack of money.
I haven't written that in the script, so good luck.
Lack of money. It's basically the best way to describe it is when the value of the pound drops to a point where the economy is unable to control its money.
That is a part of it. It's to do with money. It's to do with finished goods, employment or unemployment that's gone down, and then the rise of benefits, GDP, which is personal government spending, business investment. It's to do with people and therefore to do with money, obviously. And so the general spending and investment has gone down, which the people who are in charge of calling recession a recession think that there's going to be less money around. People are going to be paid less due to furloughing, and they're going to be spending less as well. And that worries a few people.
I do want to add, don't actually worry. I mean, in my lifetime, I think it's been 2 recessions. I think the first one was 2007, I think it was, the big recession. And we're a very resourceful nation. And we hear these big words from government, primarily because the government need to tell us, because if the worst does come to worst and they haven't told us, we all get angry and we have to go at the government. But we're a very resourceful nation, and we, just like everything else, we will get through it.
Yep. So, it might instigate business development a little bit, but the general pound won't hopefully be affected dramatically, and for most of us in our lives, we won't see a huge impact. Maybe a few prices changing, maybe the bigger things price-wise will change, but pay won't change dramatically. But that's just what's about. Those are the updates that are happening. These are the big statistics and words that are being thrown around. But our economy and our government are still doing what they can to support local business, self-employed people, just like furloughing, paying 80% of people's wages and investing into local communities. Like we've heard above about supporting care workers and homes. The government is aware of these little falls, little up and downs in the market, but they want to ensure us that we will get back to where we have been as well. So don't get bogged down, as Charlie said, in your statistics pages, your death rates, and everything like that. Focus on what you can be doing in your daily lives. Charlie, what was my 1 minute motivation on Monday about?
Stuff.
Oh no! Bad points, Mr. Wall. It was about investment.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Investment. Now, it wasn't a numerical investment. It was about saying, take time for yourself. Don't get bogged down in statistics. Don't get bogged down with negative thoughts and opinions. And don't try and give out and give out and give out. It's invest time in yourself so you can invest quality time in other people. That was my little motivational spiel.
Added on to that, like we've all been bogged down by these statistics. I mean, some of these numbers don't make any sense, not because they're fake, but because they're designed. Most of the statistics that go out are designed for professionals to read, to understand. And a lot of us, we only hear bad news because a majority of news is always bad news. I think that's people say it's because that's what sells. I don't know, but we've all been provided a very unique opportunity at the moment, an opportunity that will probably never happen again in anybody's lifetime, and that is a chance for us to not worry about the cultural expectations of work and social development, and focus on the individual. That doesn't mean you now need to focus on another person. What I'm saying is you're in a position where you can have focus on yourself, which normally, if you said I'm going to focus on myself and not others, people would say you're selfish. This is not this case. This is a very unique opportunity where it is encouraged for you to stay at home and focus on yourself. That means you're in a position where you can learn a new talent, learn a new skill, shed those extra pounds that you've always said you wanted to do but never found the time to do. You're in a position where you can try and reconnect with friends that you've lost connection with since high school, or lost connection with since moving, or lost connection with since university. You're in a position where there's family members you don't talk to regularly. You're in a position where you can talk to them. You've got a book that you probably haven't started. You can now start that book.
Yeah.
You're in such a unique position where you can improve yourself.
Lots of activities to get involved in.
Yeah. And it's personal to you. So don't listen to the podcast and go, I'm going to do everything he said. Don't do everything I said. If you've got an ambition or a goal that you want to achieve, that's yours. Do it.
I agree. Invest into something in quarantine and a lockdown. I think that's what we should say. Invest yourself into something worthwhile. The incarnate of lockdown said, that was successful. I managed this, that, and the other. Okay. Good news stories. Charlie, it's a special day today.
Yeah, Bank Holiday Friday, man.
Hooray for Bank Holidays.
Nah, VE
Why is it
Day.
Bank Holiday?
It's the 75th anniversary of the day that the war finished.
The war finished. What does VE stand for? Do you know? Do you know what date? Do you know what year?
No.
Testing your knowledge here. It's horrible when you don't know the answer to the question, isn't it? Makes you all rubbish, sorry.
VE Day.
You're Googling it. I can see you typing. And for everyone else, I can hear. Tell us what Google says, Charlie.
Oh, it didn't help me at all, actually. It's the Allied victory in Europe. That I knew already, but I was hoping I could get a breakdown what the abbreviation.
Victory in Europe. Day.
Oh, is that literally what that is? Victory in Europe. So I did know it. I was expecting just two words rather than an entire sentence. So you know.
End on the 8th of May, 1945.
Good.
End of an era. End of the war. Victory in Europe. A day that celebrated the formal acceptance of the Allies of World War II and Nazi Germany's unconditional surrender and its armed forces, thus making an end to the war. An emotional day, and we have heard many, many stories. It's a classic example where you'll see people in the streets shouting, waving flags. Lots of famous photos were done, and often street parties had with those really long tables sort of formulated as part of that celebration. People wanted to gather, do things they hadn't done for ages and celebrate with each other. Lots of similarities can be drawn between that time and this, not being go out into community as much. Services were shut, shops were shut. A different time, but one we can draw.
Well, they do say that other than World War II, this is the second biggest crisis that we as a nation have faced. Probably World War One as well, but
indeed. And in the grand scheme, how luxurious is it?
What do you mean?
Well, imagine not being able to go home, or being in the thought that you are unsafe in your home. We are tucked up safe and sound with me and you with our unlimited coffee, access to social media, and we can Twitch stream and have fun, board games. We can still speak to our families and friends. We don't have to write a letter anymore. We're very privileged, and we need to remember that.
Yeah.
So VE Day, there's some good news as well in VE Day. The National VE Day Choir have surprised elderly care homes, but not in delivering support in sessions, but they've been going online, sharing videos, digging out old files and doing live streams across the nation to multitude of care homes and elderly people for them to tune into. And by the news and stories that I've seen, they have had an absolutely fascinating time. That's a good news story. They've released a song as well, which is fantastic. Lots of artwork, posters, and they've genuinely made it a really colourful experience for care homes who might not otherwise have thought positively about their week and day. Good news. The other one I have is over 1 million people have reported to be volunteers in lockdown. Now, there isn't actually a good number or a factual number that I could find anywhere, but over 1 million people have registered to support COVID-19 procedures. Now, that could be in delivering medicines, that could be in supporting elderly in the community, a whole host of activities, and over 1 million of you. So if you're listening, thank you. And that is a massive pat on the UK's shoulders to say, well done, that we've stuck together and been there for one another.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Quite right. Now, Charlie.
Yes.
Have you got a game for me?
Oh, yes, I have. Okay. So after last week's very failed attempt at a game, I went about my week and Radio X played a game that I thought was really interesting. I'm calling it the population game. So hold on, I need my intro. Okay. This is Charlie Wall population game. Guest host Charlie Wall and competitor Rupert, Norris and Appleton. Okay. So the aim of the game is very simple. I'm going to give you 2 different countries, and you need to tell me which one has the largest population. Okay?
Okay.
I've tried to make this quite difficult, so hopefully you won't win. I know that's not the aim. Okay, we'll start off with the Bahamas or Luxembourg.
Now Luxembourg is that really small one in Europe, isn't it? And the Bahamas is like Cuba and that area in the Caribbean. Is that right?
I'm not giving anything away.
I would guess Luxembourg because it's in Europe.
And you would guess correct, with
Yay!
Bahamas population only being 393,224, but Luxembourg having a population of 625,978.
I know it's really small, Luxembourg, but assumed it's 100% bigger.
Okay.
Quite significantly as well.
Let's remove that from the list. Good job. So that's, what's that, 1 to you so far?
I'm happy.
Okay. Next one is Falkland Islands or the British Virgin Islands?
What? Falklands Islands. Falkland Islands or the what?
The British Virgin Islands.
That's, aren't they?
I'll chuck some curveballs in there just in case.
Are they both like
Titchy. Yep.
in the US, like Pacific? Is that right?
They're
Caribbean Islands, America, somewhere there, aren't they?
Titchy Witchy Islands that are constantly fought over.
The British one will surely be smaller. I think the British one's smaller.
You would think wrong. Falkland Islands has a population of 3,480, whilst the British Virgin Islands has a population of 30,231. Both very tiny populations.
Is it British?
British Virgin Islands.
Oh, okay.
So, both very tiny though.
Gutted.
That was one of the curveballs. There's quite a few in there.
Oh, what do you mean that was the curveball? Oh, by the way, there's loads. Brilliant. I can't wait.
Let's go for something else. Lithuania or Jamaica?
I haven't got a clue. Jamaica must be bigger, population-wise.
Jamaica. You went for Jamaica, you would be right. Now that one was a curveball because their population's almost identical, with Lithuania having a population of 2,722,289. Jamaica having a population of 2,961,167. So good job on that one. That was actually quite a difficult one, I'm not going to lie.
Don't know, I just assumed Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay, ready for the next one?
Probably. Go on, this is interesting.
Sri Lanka or Denmark?
Denmark? Oh, hang on.
You better not have a globe.
I know where Denmark is and I know where Sri Lanka is. I don't know. Denmark's massive though. But Sri Lanka's so highly populated. Denmark could be just empty. That's the thing. That's really difficult because Denmark is massive. Sri Lanka, I think, is smaller. But
just to save you, he's got me on webcam, and to make sure that he's not reading my face, I'm having to dance because I give a lot away in my facial features.
Yeah, you do. Okay, I'm going to say Denmark is smaller and Sri Lanka has a higher population.
Oh, are you sure?
I don't know. Yeah, Sri Lanka's bigger. No, I mean Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia must have more people.
And you would think right.
Oh, yes!
Sri Lanka has a population of 21,413,249, whilst Denmark only has a population of 5,792,202.
4 times
so
as many.
It's a big country, but I'm guessing they're quite spread out.
What?
Okay.
Yes.
Let's chuck in another curveball, shall we?
No.
Greenland or Isle of Man?
Greenland's got no one. Surely Greenland's got like no one.
But you're comparing it to the Isle of Man, remember?
Isle of Man must be bigger, surely.
Are you going for Isle of Man, yeah?
Your face doesn't give anything away. Isle of Man.
Yeah? Okay. Correct. You're doing quite well, I'm not going to lie. I picked some really tough ones, so I'm quite impressed. Greenland only has a population of 56,770. And Isle of Man has a population of 85,033.
See, I know what you're like with these curveballs.
Okay, ready? You've got two more.
Oh,
God.
God.
You've only got one wrong. The next one is Russia or Nigeria?
Russia's the biggest thing ever.
It's one of the world superpowers.
Literally. I can't imagine that. I want there to be more in Russia, but there are so many unpopulated parts and probably uncounted people in Russia. It has. You're horrible. Is it Nigeria? Is that the heart?
I'm not telling you anything.
You said Russia or Nigeria, not Niger. Look how happy you are. You're loving it. It's Nigeria. Look at your face.
What are you going for? Nigeria?
Yes, it's had the bigger... Yes.
Nigeria, yeah? Okay. You would think right. It is actually Nigeria. Russia has a recorded population of 145,934,462. Nigeria has a recorded population of 206,139,589.
Categorically, that statistic has to be wrong. But for this game premise, I'm glad I got that right. That is the worst curveball ever. But
And
Russia
the reason I picked that one was because that's the one they pulled up on the radio show that I picked a game from. Okay, you got one more. This one isn't actually compared to countries. This is let's test your knowledge. What country has the smallest population? If you get this, I'll be well impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, is it like? See, I think you've been there recently, or I think you've spoken about it, and I think as a country, it's probably Vatican City because that's classed as a country.
Is that where we're staying with it? Yeah.
Oh, your face. Oh, I don't know. You had different reactions. Oh, there it is, Vatican City. It must be.
Do you stick with Vatican?
What?
You stick with the Vatican, are you?
Yeah.
No! I've never even heard of this place. I had to Google it, okay? It was in the list with all the other countries. It's called Holy See.
What?
Holy See. Two separate words. S-E-E. With a population of 801.
Where? Where in the world is that?
I don't even know. Let me quickly Google it. Let's have a
Probably
quick look.
by the sea.
Holy See. The Holy See, also known as the See of Rome, is a jurisdiction of the Bishop of Rome, known as the Pope. So you could actually say...
That's not a place, it's a person.
You could actually say it is a... it's also known as Sancta Sedis. Is an independent, sovereign entity and at the top of the spiritual governing body. So it is. It's the Vatican City and the Holy See are like run by the same person. You just.
I mean, I'll take that as a victory.
I mean, you only got 2 wrong out of. How many did I give you? 1, 2, 3, 4,
7?
6. Yeah, you got 2 out of 7. So that is over 50%. So that is in this instance a victory.
I like geography, mate. I like flags.
Yeah, I thought that's why I thought you'd like this game.
Yes, very much like it. Well, I'm glad with that. Well, there we go. Let's find a Word document. Happy days. Well, there we are. You've had some jargon busting. You've had some social media updates. You've had some positive stories. You've had a feeling about our feelings and our thoughts. Charlie, have you enjoyed your week?
Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. I want to give a shout out to all of the people that have interacted with us throughout the week. We do have a lot of things going on. We have like the gaming session. Big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Tavis Gray and Charlie Mathers, 2 people who have taught us how to play Rocket League and have always been a player who has supported us to make sure we have a full team through some games like Apex Legends and Fortnite. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you for the dedication.
Rock on. Correct. So, Charlie, what do we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week?
Monday, ladies and gentlemen, is advertising day. You're going to see a lot of stuff pop up on our social media. You're also going to probably be very lucky enough to receive a text to let you know about all our upcoming stuff.
Oh, yes.
If you're a professional watching, expect an email.
Too right. Have a weekly devotion. It'll be my face or Charlie's. I can't remember whose it is, but you'll have a little minute motivational speech from us. Tuesday, what happens?
Tuesday is the weekly challenge. This is the point where a video is uploaded by either me, Rupert, or another person, and we are going to do something. This could be basketball shots, this could be trick shots, this could be, den making, this could be something. And the idea being that we're going to do it, and then we're going to expect other people to take part and try and either beat it, do something better, but video it, because if we haven't got the evidence, it never happened.
There's some good challenges this week, and put out by you, Charlie. That was very, very good. And Wednesday, we have a lot of live content. I posted a lot on my face, and I got my housemates to quiz me on some of the moustache questions as well. That was fondly found, and I did pretty badly. I couldn't get the 7th dwarf. I thought he was either called Saggy or Sassy.
No, it's Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah, I couldn't get him. And then we've got some live Thursday health and wellbeing, and obviously Friday we've got our feelings podcast.
And during the week, we have the Monday to Friday drop-in sessions. Now, some of you guys may already be talking to us. Some of you guys may not. If you do want to have a chat, we are accessible through Facebook Messenger an Instagram direct message. You can also go to our website, which is www.ymca Norfolk Youth Suite. I think you can see at the bottom of our podcast right now, .org. And just create a free membership. Go to the page. On there is a way to instant message us. Now, we reply to you Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. But that is checked 24/7, okay? So if you need help, we are there for you.
Quite agree. And Charlie, I heard the word Discord being thrown around earlier in the podcast.
Okay. So
what's that got to do with?
Me and Rupert are putting our noggins together to try and produce a way to bring back some of our youth clubs. So I think I mentioned the Acle Youth Club, Kings Lynn Youth Club, Great Yarmouth Bike Project, and the Catton Grove Senior Group. We are going to try and relaunch some youth clubs via Discord servers. Now, we are going to be announcing this hopefully next Friday. Should we push for next Friday to be the official opening of these clubs?
Let's do it.
Okay, that is our target. Next Friday, we will announce and we will release materials for you guys on how to join us on these Discord servers. Now, just to be aware, it's invite only. Okay, so the first stage, we're going to push invites out to people that are already part of the club. If you want to join the club, you need to message us. We need to know who you are, not because we want to stalk you, but because just for general safeguard and stuff. We need to make sure that you are who you say you are, to protect the people that are part of the server, but also to make sure that you can be safe in that server as well. Okay. Now, in this server, you have two options. We have the text chat setting at the moment, where you can take part in instant messaging. We call that the MSN because me and Rupert are old fogies and we're part of the MSN era. Then we have the voice and video. Now, this is a platform where anybody that's already part of that youth club, if you're part of the Discord server, go into that group, that channel, and you can join the video chats and take part in the stuff in there. And as we progress, we're going to include games. I've been thinking about ways like in our youth clubs we have pool table tennis tables and stuff like that. There's no reason why we can't try and introduce an 8-ball pool, a mini clip 8-ball pool thing in there where people can compete, play 8-ball pool against each other, try and find virtual table tennis, try and find Uno online, and just try and bring back a very virtual version of what we used to do.
Love that.
Yep.
So we look forward to that happening next Friday. We're going to work really, really hard to try and get some of you on board, message you, text you, get a hold of you. But yeah, please get involved with us as well. And that is probably it. That is our roundup of Friday feelings. I feel good. I feel like I've had a positive week. As Charlie said, it's been a bit samey, but that's just lockdown. But we've invested our time into doing some quality stuff. We've got work done. And we've had a laugh along the way or been shouted at by neighbours. I went shopping on Monday. That was exciting. I bought some ice lollies because I'm hopeful to sit in my back garden over the weekend. And I've got a curry in the slow cooker for tonight. Win, win, win.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
GG. I learned that the other day. GG. Good game. So that is it for our Friday Feelings podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you've got this far, give yourself a pat on the back. And we will be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Get in touch, stay in contact, and we hope you have a nice weekend. That is it for the Friday Feelings podcast. Good evening.
Speak to you later. Bye-bye.